That generator's hum will tell everyone where the party is, and they don't all come with good intentions. Picture a neighborhood at dusk, a thin ribbon of light through a curtained window, the steady whir of metal, and then footsteps on gravel. In a true crisis, visibility becomes liability. The people who look like they have what everyone else needs are the ones who get the knocks, the requisitions, the pressure. My point is simple. Loud preparedness makes you a target. Invisibility preserves options. Before we go any deeper, this video is about risk awareness, legal readiness, and ethical survival. It does not instruct illegal activity or evasion of lawful authorities. Know your laws, protect your conscience, help your neighbors when you can, and act within the bounds of safety and the law. If this lands on you and you want a high-level preparedness mindset checklist, hit subscribe. I put together a non-actionable guide that stays on the right side of things. The loud engine gets noticed first. That's where to start. Fuel is an obvious magnet. In Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria, generators and fuel became the center of gravity for who stayed comfortable and who didn't. The hum of a generator isn't just noise, it's a broadcast. Power, security, warm food. People will come asking. Authorities and organized responders have powers to requisition resources in declared emergencies, and opportunists operate without such constraints. The principle to carry away from that is redundancy and discretion. Think in systems, not trophies. If you have multiple smaller ways to get power or heat, and if your primary capability doesn't broadcast itself to the whole street, you reduce the chance that your preparedness becomes a communal obligation or a target. Decoys and visibility can be useful in theory, visible but expendable systems that attract attention while quiet or sustainable solutions keep you going, but I won't walk you through how to build or hide anything. The takeaway: diversify, avoid advertising abundance, and understand local emergency authorities' powers so you can make lawful, informed choices when the lines blur. Barrels look like victory trophies, and they make you a target. Water is political. The harm in Flint showed how access to safe water can be weaponized by weak systems, and how those who become known as sources of potable water end up under intense social pressure. If you're the one everyone assumes has a never-ending supply, you're also the one asked to give it away, or worse, compelled to provide it. The better pivot is capability over conspicuous stockpiles. That means having multiple quiet ways to secure safe drinking water, and the skills to use them, practiced in private so you don't become an obvious node in your community supply chain. Again, I'm not listing brands or construction tricks. This is about mindset. Less trophy, more resilience. Plan for distribution ethics too. If you're able to help, have a mental framework for how you'll do it without exposing yourself to coercion or legal risk. The quiet things kill you or save you, and both are valuable. Medical supplies and skills are silently high value. When Venezuela's public health system degraded, people who could get antibiotics, sutures, or basic trauma care were suddenly in a different social category. They were lifelines, and lifelines attract attention and dependency. The responsible approach is to keep modest, discreet reserves and to invest in real training, not to show off a cache of goods. Learn practical care skills through accredited courses, keep certifications current, and think about legalities. Controlled substances and prescription medications are regulated for a reason. Your medical readiness should be ethical and lawful, focused on competence rather than conspicuous stockpiling. Protect patient privacy, respect prescription law, and consider how you'll make triage decisions that preserve life without creating strings of dependency. Talk and you'll be tracked. Communications are power. When Katrina hit, ham radio operators and ad hoc networks became critical nodes in the response. That visibility can be a blessing and a liability if your comms capability makes you the funnel everyone relies on. Build trusted networks long before trouble, test them, and agree on operating norms. The goal is trusted, resilient channels, not public announcements that advertise capability. Operational security matters at a human level. Limit broadcast of who you are and what you can do, and establish trusted, vetted contacts you can rely on. Use codes and agreed procedures within your group to manage requests and ensure help is distributed fairly. None of this requires technical specifics here. It's about relationships, rehearsal, and discretion. If you're useful, you'll be useful to everyone, whether you want to be or not. In wars and collapses, from parts of the Balkans to failed state pockets in Somalia, people with medical, mechanical, or tactical skills were quickly pulled into roles they never asked for. Skill visibility can be weaponized into forced labor or coercive dependence. The strategy is behavioral. Cultivate capability privately. Don't advertise it. Teach trusted family or partners quietly. When you must step forward publicly, do so on your terms and with community oversight, not because you were assumed to be always on. That protects your autonomy and preserves the ability to help sustainably rather than being consumed by need. Paper money dies. Comfort items live on. During the monetary crises of Argentina, Greece, and the late Soviet transition, everyday consumables, fuel, soap, batteries, cigarettes, small food items became more liquid than banknotes. If the system reprices reality, know what tradable goods hold value locally and why.
Keep at least one portion of your inventory in small denomination, high exchange items that you can part with without undermining your own survival. Equally important, separate the places you keep personal safety stock from where you conduct transactions. Neutral ground, rotation, and discretion protect you by removing a clear nexus between trading activity and your residential location. Again, I'm not giving rendezvous instructions. Think separation of functions. Trading, storage, and your living space should not be conflated. Let's be clear on ethics. Survival does not absolve cruelty. There's a moral line between preserving your family and exploiting others' misfortune. If you can help without endangering yourself, do it. If assistance requires you to break the law or put people at risk, rethink the plan. Also, legal realities differ. Governments have emergency powers, and in many places, requisition laws exist for declared disasters. Know your local statutes and have documented ownership and legal records for what you value. That reduces confusion and may protect you from lawful but ill-informed seizures. If you can, consult a lawyer about property rights and disaster powers. That's part of preparedness as much as set and forget supplies. Trust is your currency. Build community ties before a crisis, but don't broadcast that you are the expert. Mutual aid groups that operate with transparency and rules are far more resilient than lone wolves who hoard. In some historical responses, neighbors who organized and agreed on mutual support had fewer conflicts than neighborhoods that depended on a single resource person. Invest in social contracts now, shared expectations, clear boundaries, and a plan for disputes. Social capital lowers the chance that your possessions will be singled out for appropriation because the community knows you as a responsible partner rather than an outlier. A few final practical principles to stitch this together in your head. Think in redundancy, not display. Prioritize capability over trophy items. Separate functions, storage, trading, and living space to reduce risk. Cultivate skills privately and test networks before they are needed. And maintain an ethical framework that balances self-preservation with community duty. The gray man isn't about cowardice or secrecy for its own sake. It's a mindset. Remain unremarkable on the surface while being quietly capable beneath. That's the real defense against becoming a target in a chaotic environment. I'll say it plainly, nothing I or anyone else can tell you guarantees you'll never be pressured, requisitioned, or robbed in a crisis. There are no perfect shields. What you can do is reduce probability, preserve legal standing, and keep moral clarity. If you value your belongings and your responsibilities, document ownership where possible, understand emergency laws in your jurisdiction, and build relationships that will keep you accountable and protected.
This video has been about awareness and lawful preparation, not evasion. If you want that non-actionable preparedness mindset checklist, the one that covers legal readiness, community building tips, and ethical decision frameworks, download it from the link in the description or join our community resource page. We focus on lawful, practical resilience training and templates that help you plan without crossing legal or moral lines. Stay capable, stay discreet, and above all, stay humane.